Hi everyone, my name's Aishi and welcome back to What It Takes to Be. Today we have Miss Sonia Nair with us. She is working as a product owner in IBM HR organization and she has around 24 years of experience. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Miss Sonia. Could you please tell us a little bit about what you do?
So hi everybody. I name is Sonia, as Ananya already mentioned. Um, so I am a product owner at IBM HR Services, which is really a transformation to new technologies kind of team. That's what we do. So we have application systems that are on old technologies, and we're transforming to new. Some part of this organization. As a day-to-day product owner, my current initiative is return to work for IBMers. As topic of the day, everybody's going back to work, and how we're going to bring people safely back to work. What are the technologies that we will use in order to make that happen? So there's a lot of moving parts in this initiative. Of course, there's the actual location preparedness, um, the communications, the folks who are leading the site preparedness. There's like a big team working on this initiative, and my minuscule role is to have the technology ready for it. And what I mean by that is, so we have like, how we go into any workplace or school or something, and you have a health screening, questions that you need to answer. One of the products I own is doing just that, doing the health screening for people. People log in into this app, answer, I'm feeling well today, I'm vaccinated, blah blah. So those kind of things are asked in this application, and we allow them or reject them to go to work based on their answers. Another aspect of this is, of course, contact tracing. So another application that I own as a product owner is, it's called exposure notification, but it's basically contact tracing that the medical team is able to log in and either uh, discuss, health questions with IBMers who may or may not be exposed, who may be exposed because of, outbreak in the workplace, or could be anything. So I own that application, and of course, modifications, enhancements, onboarding of employees, and of course the medical teams who are going to use, ramp up to global use. So all those things are part of product ownership work.
So, what does a typical day look like for you?
Um, Usually in the IT world, mornings are fairly busy because we're global. So we would work with our delivery teams who are around the world. So they're not coming into late meetings. So we want to discuss how, how things, if I'm meeting with my delivery team members, they're offshores, India and this particular team, but, IBM is a global company, so they could be anywhere. Um, so mornings, just connect with the team members offshore, get up to date status. What are the impediments? How we're going to get through this? What is our plan for tomorrow and day after, and the next steps in the vision? We work through that. Um, and then at the same time, I also monitor how people facing trouble to come back in, use our technology base, help them through that. This current topic. Um, and Other than that, maybe have leadership calls where we get directions from our management, our leadership, as to where we are going, what is their vision, what are their decisions, and we take those decisions and implement them. So for example, uh, before it was just COVID-19. Now we have COVID-19 plus vaccinated or unvaccinated folks. So how we're going to handle this? How will we allow or not allow, what are the rules around that, or based on CDC guidelines. Or we work with the higher management and leadership to get their direction. So it doesn't happen day to day basis, but we would have a continuum connection with them, a continued connection with them to understand as and when policies change, and how we're going to implement, or what are the new technologies. We also take what are the new technologies that we can implement. So, for example, if you take digital health pass uh, as an example, it's one of the applications that IBM has published to upload your vaccination proof. And then there's other ways of doing the same thing. So currently, we would look into okay, what application would be the best fit in the current workflow, and how we would take that back to our leadership and say, hey, this is a technology or application or something that we can change, we can update, we can do this, that, and the other ideas, discuss it, take their feedback, take their reactions, and then go next step. So those could happen. Those kind of discussions would happen, at least in this current topic. Even if I was working on any other application, it would be a similar way of working. Um, Other than that, day to day, in my previous jobs, I can say that I was dealing a lot with clients. So I would sit on calls with them, walk through our applications, show them how to use it, do training, do demos for new features. So that could kind of land in a product owner uh, area also.
Okay. So, what kind of education or training is required to become a product owner?
um, so I didn't go for higher education
Mm-hmm.
for personal reasons, and I went to college while I was working at AT&T many years ago. I have an associate's from DeVry Technology, DeVry University, and after that, I just decided I'm going to do on-the-job training. Um, it doesn't say that you need this path to become a product owner, um, or otherwise. I think that it's really your analysis skills, your presentation skills, your technical skills, your soft skills put together. And of course, what you learn at school probably will come in handy
Mm-hmm.
um, to get here. It was a long road for me, but maybe shorter for the millennials. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
So in some cases, people can take a path of going to colleges, working through either engineering or systems analysis kind of degrees, or other path is like me. I started ground up and made my way here.
Mm-hmm.
um, I was an architect before I joined this team, so I had a lot of hands-on technical training, technical work, technical experience. It helped me. I also did a lot of soft skills training in the last, say, couple of years. During COVID, I spent my time just heads down studying, learning, learning how to do presentations and stuff. So it helped me get to this point. Um, Again, you can go for a college degree, but it doesn't guarantee you a job. It's about how you learn, how you retain what you learn, how you apply what you learn. I think that is what it takes for any job, not just this. Yeah, that's my take at it.
Mm-hmm. So, like, did you learn like your technological background after college?
My personal journey has been different than many others.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in college for 1 year, and I joined AT&T while I was in college. I got a break. Um, I was not prepared for it skill wise at the time because I didn't know anything about telecommunications, you know. And my boss at the time, he asked me 5 questions in my interview, and I answered no to all of them. But then at the end, I said, hey, if you teach me, I'm a quick learner. And he
Mm-hmm.
just told me, talk is cheap, you know? And I was like, all right, I'm not getting this job. But I did. And I proved myself to him at the time. It was many years ago. So uh, to answer your question, it was more of both.
Okay.
It was, yes, I needed the starting point of learning technology in school. It gave me the basis of systems analysis. It gave me the basis of designing applications. uh, it helped me, but it was not the only thing that helped me. So both college plus the actual on the job training put together brought me where I am.
Okay, so you mentioned that you have like analytical skills. So what other skills are required to be a product owner?
I think presentation skills are key because you do have to take many different aspects of what you're working on to your leadership and be able to articulate them in an easy to understand fashion rather than showing technology. Leadership just wants to know that you can get it done. That's it. People are gonna get if people are people's pain points are gonna be resolved. They don't care how you do it, you know. In
Mm-hmm.
most cases, in some cases, there'll be more hands-on leadership, management, but you should be able to articulate yourself. I think that's a good skill to have, and probably like for kids school going or college going kids, probably like a public speaking kind of course or interaction or a group would help you to gain that confidence. I'm talking to you now, probably I wouldn't have been able to do this 20 years ago because I didn't have this,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And because I've faced multiple audiences, I've done trainings, people that I cannot see their faces, it's all on Zoom call now or WebEx, and then you still talk confidently. I think that's a very important factor for growth, for career growth. um, Other than that, I think the drive is important. I want to be something, I want to learn something, I want to do something, I want to get this done. I think that drive is a skill that everybody cannot just have. It's something that's within you. You're born with it, you can't learn it. Or you can learn it, just have to have aspirations,
Yeah.
that I want to get something done, I want to be somebody, you
Mm-hmm.
know or I want to make a difference in somebody's life. I don't know. Could be anything, but you got to have something to look to a purpose,
Mm-hmm.
really. You know,
Like that motivation that you need.
motivation. Yes,
Okay, so what challenges do you face in your job?
challenges. Um, you see, every day is a challenge, right? Today I had a challenge of I don't know. I had some reports that were not good enough for me, and I had to figure out a workaround for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it and scratched my head and I say, I can do this. I can come up with this solution. So challenges present themselves every day in a different way. How
Mm-hmm.
you deal with them is up to you. Um, there's always more than one way to resolve a problem. You just have to put your head towards it. And sometimes I even have to walk away from my desk and I'll keep thinking about it. I'll get an idea in the middle of the night and come back and implement next day. Um, in the global uh, world, the way of working that we have right now, uh, big challenge sometimes has been in the past the work hours.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, India people are in a different time zone than us. There were days that I had to work 11:30 at night. I'm trying to put Excel spreadsheets together with them, and I couldn't keep my eyes open, but I just had to get through that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, and what got me through was, I have to get this done. That mode of working is important for any individual to learn to grow. Um, Other than that, I mean, you see technical challenges, work challenges. I don't know how to do this. You learn as you go. You can't know everything.
Yeah.
You can't know everything. So I'll give you an example. So last February, I joined this team. It was more of strategy, and before this job, I was doing more technical work. I had no presentation skills, meaning PowerPoint or Adobe Illustrator or something like that. So all of a sudden, I found myself in this job. I had to create presentations for executives, and I was not geared for it. I thought I would lose this job. But, one weekend I just said to myself, I got to get this. I got this. I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I sat down, started doing, learning how to do fancy things in PowerPoint. And it's very it sounds trivial, but it's not, when you don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
It took me my first PowerPoint assignment or a presentation assignment. I had to create a sales narrative. It took me 6 days, and my boss was still unhappy with it. uh, I didn't know what to do. So I put my head back, cleared everything, start from scratch, start looking at other things on Google, how to create effective presentations, how to get images. And my next presentation after that was took me 3 days, because I learned how to do download images, fix those in Adobe Illustrator, make effective narratives around those images, like using good keywords, buzzwords. Um, and then a year and a half later, I find myself I can create such a thing within 2 hours, because I did so much of that in in the past year.
Mm-hmm.
I worked towards it. It was a challenge. I felt like I was stonewalled. I felt like I was losing this job, but I needed this job, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And I overcome it by working hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized where my downfalls were. I know how to do APIs, or I know how to do, how to run SOAP XML and, things like that, but I don't know how to do PowerPoint. And I had to overcome, so to make this long story short, I had a challenge. I cleared my head, sat down in the evening, started working on it, and made it through. And it's helping me in this new role, in my next role, and I think it's going to help me going forward.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think that like using PowerPoint and even like Google Slides is like so helpful, and it's kind of it's like it takes time to learn and get used to it. So it's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you see, you're using Google Slides because you're a millennial. I never even did that before. So I see my daughter, putting images together and doing animations and stuff like that, and she's doing all these fancy things. I didn't do that in school, and I
Mm-hmm.
had to learn it. And so you just go, you learn as you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never too late to learn how to use
It's
them.
never too late. It's never too late.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have two more questions.
Okay.
So first one is, how is the work-life balance as being a product owner?
Oh, I must say that in the current situation, in the current team, I have a very good work life balance. I'm able to walk away from my desk at 5:30 in the evening, and sometimes early if I need to,
Mm-hmm.
and come back and get it done. Um, Previously, I literally have work, 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 and no life. There was no balance.
Mm-hmm.
It hurt me. I regret it, but I didn't have a choice and I just dealt with it. But I learned that if I'm at peace and I keep my work life balance in check, I'm happier. My kids are happy, my family is happy. If when I go back to 5 years from now, before, um, it wasn't there and I was unhappy. I was, I was working too much. And I think it's a important thing to focus on work, but it's as important thing to focus on your life. There's there's work and then there's everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So work life balance right now is good. I learned the hard way. Um, but for people who would maybe watching this, probably should think, that that's an important factor in life.
Mm-hmm. All right, and lastly, what advice would you give to someone who wants to become a product owner eventually?
I say that, you know not only focus on gearing yourself with hard skills, and I mean technical skills by that. Also focus on soft skills. I think public speaking and presentation is an important thing. Um, Also, product ownership is really about having the vision of what's next and how I can make this better. So the more you research on how, I mean, I'm just saying technology perspective. What are the technologies out there? Be aware of what are other companies doing, or what is the market. If you understand or do some research on those things. So, for example, right now I know there's digital health pass, there's New York Excelsior, there's some credentials wallet. All these things are competing products for the same thing. So I understand that these products are out there, and not only understand it, that would also help me to understand whether this product, which product out of those three or four, would be the best fit for my need or for our need. I think that's important, that you're aware of not just what you're doing, aware of what the world is doing out there. It's important. That's I think that's also a key factor. um, and then there's many other things, but I think that what I said was just enough.
So thank you so much for being here today, and I sincerely appreciate your time, Sonia, ma'am.
No problem, you're welcome.